Yeah, I thought that that whole thing with George Floyd would be an opportunity for these boxers to speak out. I mean, I only heard about maybe two fighters, one here in the U.S. and one in the U.K., but nothing where it was kind of like a level of, like you said, a Muhammad Ali or someone like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or a Bill Russell or Jim Brown or something like that, where they didn't just make statements. They were out there visible, doing protests and that type of thing.
Oh man, them dudes took the chance on getting beat with sticks and chains. Could you imagine if they had it as easy as we got it right now, where they would be? Those guys, man, went through hell back then. Man, they didn't even want them going to white schools. They probably didn't even want them playing against a white school. And if they won, you know what they got. If they won, you know what they got. At the very least, spit on.
Right.
And then when the police got there, they probably clubbed you a couple times.
Yes.
They probably hit you. Hey, the police probably say, "Nigga, you call us on some good white folks?" Pop, right upside the head.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
and
man,
I mean,
brothers had it. Hey, brothers done had it hard in this country, man. Look, I was handcuffed when they caught me. They finally trapped me, and I knew I was trapped. I didn't want to die. I ain't never wanted to die. So when I knew I was trapped, I got down on my knees, put my hands on my head. They cuffed me up, tied my feet up with that little thing, and sicked the dog on me.
Oh, goodness.
Is that cold? Is that cold? Hey, don't sick the dog on me when I got my hands. At least give me a fighting chance.
Right.
No. They let me surrender. Get on my knees, put my hand on my head, let them cuff me. And that's when they picked the dog on me. When I was totally helpless. Nowhere to run. No way to defend myself. But that's how they treat us in this country. That's how they have treated us in this country. So when you talk about the greats, you talk about the people who molded me. Those were the people who I looked up to. Those are my idols. Those are the guys that I wish I would have paid more attention to. Sometimes we pay attention just a little bit, and we should be giving it our undivided attention. It's the difference between attention and undivided attention. Some of our fighters, they don't know about that undivided attention. They'll go to a boxing match holding a baby. When I get ready to go to war, I want my baby tucked away. With somebody that I know got her back. Because I know that when I go to war, I may not come out. But every time you step in that ring, you could die.
Yep.
You could literally die up in that ring. Each time that you go in there, you should go in there with the mindset is that this could be the day that I die. And when I sold drugs, I felt like that. Every time I touched drugs, I said, you know what, this could be the day that somebody try to rob you. This could be the day the police come and get you, take you away forever. So when I did it, I was trying to be clicking on every cylinder. Because I didn't want my downfall to be because I wasn't prepared. See, I did that one time in life with tennis. I would prepare and have some great days, and then do what everybody else is doing. Just do exactly what you see everybody else doing. See, nobody had ever told me that if you do the same thing that they do, you're going to get the same thing that they got. In order to have something different, you have to do something different.
Exactly.
So, there it is. And,
you said a lot right there, man, as far as like, you know, what you went through, and you know who you were idolizing back then, and you know how, you know, those symbols, you know, how they were able to stand out back then, but you don't really have that now. Nobody really stands out. You know, nobody really speaks to.
Most of these dudes are so scared. They scared. Now, see, some of these dudes, when they first meet me, I know how much they love me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know when you love me. I know when you love and respect me. I know that. And when I meet them, they show me so much of that. But then all of a sudden, when I get in their ear and I start prepping them, and then they bosses don't like that. Or they owners.
Mm-hmm.
What they call them, stable.
Stables are promoters, you know, like, you know, promoters or other managers, basically.
Promoters, what they got, a stable? They call them a stable?
Yes.
I wouldn't want to be labeled as in nobody's stable. I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to be in your stable. I don't give a fuck who you is. Sounds too much like an animal. They put horses in stables.
Right.
They put cows in stables. Come on, man. Who uses that kind of language talking about a man, a champ? They would never say they had Muhammad Ali in their stable. Never would they say that. Never.
They wouldn't say that about Ali or George Foreman or Evander Holyfield or Riddick Bowe or none of those fighters. They wouldn't say that.
They might say, I work with Holyfield. I used to be his manager. I hear him talking about he's in my stable. And fighters, I'm in this stable. What? Stable?
Yeah, like how does that work? You know, like, you know, like you said,
hey, they allow that shit in America? I didn't know they even allowed that kind of shit in America. I would call that pimping. Hey, you know where I'm from, we would have called that pimping. Hey, pimping. You know, we say pimping. They done disguised pimping and gave it another name.
Yeah, basically that's kind of you know, that's kind of what it is in some ways, man. Like you know, I just don't you know understand it, but it kind of like goes to the whole.
Hey, that's what pimps call the hoes. Well, she in my stable.
Yep, that's true. That is true. Like, hey, I got this whole roster here. This my stable. Like.
Yeah.
What?
You already know. Anybody that really been around the game know that's what they used to say. Stable.
Yep. Oh, man. Dang, man. It'd be like, man, I got a whole stable full of hoes. Like, oh, man.
There you go. There you go. And he balling.
Yo.
And he balling. If he got a nice stable up, he balling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I just some of the stuff I want to change, man. Change the name.